What's up, Rob?
What's up, Satchel? How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I am good, man. 94.3 The Shark presents Steel Panther at the Paramount in Huntington tomorrow night. Steel Panther, not strangers to this area. You guys have played here quite a few times, especially at the Paramount. And some more exposure, perhaps, because congratulations on AGT. I know you guys made it to the next round, right? So that's going to happen later this summer. You're in the prelims.
We are on, and we did make it to the next round. We did not get gonged. We are moving on, and we are going to be the winners of this season of AGT. You just heard me say it, and we are going to crush a lot of hopes and dreams along the way. And there's going to be a lot of sad kids that don't win, but the old heavy metal band is going to win AGT this year.
I would think it's about time for the old heavy metal bands to reclaim their place. And especially, some guys in certain bands, they use product, whether it's hair dye. It looks like, did anybody from Steel Panther give Simon Cowell tips about hair dye? Because his beard looks a little darker than it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I think Simon probably saw us and realized that, he's got to step it up, because our singer is no spring chicken. And I just turned 73 myself, and we're looking good up there. We're wearing spandex, and we're feeling good. We're feeling fresh. Our singer still sounds like he's in his mid-50s, and we're doing heavy metal the way it was meant to be done. Girls are going crazy for us. I mean, if anybody's seen us here in Huntington in the past, they know that it was insane. I mean, like this I think we've probably got kids running around in Huntington from some of the last shows, because some of the girls, we had some big parties backstage.
It's possible, and I believe that the quota has been met for backstage passes for women only. Correct?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be crazy. I mean we're excited. We're excited to meet some of our children that we haven't met, and to see some of our old flames, and to make some new connections, some new love connections tomorrow night. It's going to be great.
Steel Panther is going to be at the Paramount in Huntington, and tickets are still available, or you can get them at the box office tomorrow. And if you are bringing kids, perhaps Satchel can meet them if you haven't ever met them before. The new album is available too. It's called On the Prowl. And what's, besides the groupies and the possible children that you've fathered, what is the best thing about playing this area of the country, especially the New York, Long Island area, with the brand of metal that Steel Panther brings?
Well, I got to say, there's a lot of heavy metal fans out here, and they are just as ardent and hardcore as any heavy metal fans in Europe or Canada or Australia. And we love the East Coast. That's what we're going to try to get out here as much as we can. It's always a party, and Huntington is killer. We love playing out here. We haven't played here in several years. I know it's been hard to tour for the last few years, but it has been a while since we've played here, and we love it. Hot chicks that are ready to party. And a lot of the guys out here, they love the band so much that they actually offer their girlfriends to us, which I think is just one of the nicest things you can do as a guy. I mean, granted, when you're a guy and you've been with a girl for sometimes, for a few years, you're like, take her off my hands, please. But these guys are like, yeah, seriously, just take her on the tour bus and drop her off in a few weeks. And we're like, all right, we do it.
I mean, hey, who's going to argue? Certainly not you, right?
Definitely not.
And Steel Panther is going to be here again at the Paramount in Huntington. I know that besides AGT and, the new album On the Prowl and just, your tour, you did some really cool stuff on your YouTube with dad jokes and the Are You Metal segment that just wrapped up, I believe, not that long ago. So will there be a second season of Are You Metal?
There probably will be. I mean, that's definitely been a fan favorite. I mean, let's face it, who doesn't like heavy metal trivia? It's a great way to test how metal you are, and you can play along. And if you're not metal enough, the good thing is you can become more metal. It's kind of like if you're deficient in potassium and you eat a few bananas, you're going to be fine, But if you don't really know anything, if you don't know who the lead singer of Quiet Riot was in 1983, then you can learn that it was Kevin Dubrow, and you become more metal as you play along with the game. And, if you have watched the first season of Are You Metal, you do know that I am more metal than all the other guys in Steel Panther, which is why I'm the leader of the band.
You are the most metal, I would say.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
In fact, if we can, let's just see how metal you are. I've got a couple of questions here. Some pertain
Yeah.
to metal and some pertain to non-metal questions. We'll go with the non-metal question first, being that it is Long Island, the home of the best pizza and bagels in the country. What would be the most metal topping that Satchel will put on a slice of pizza?
Wow, that's a pretty good question. I mean, to me, I know this might sound like an easy way out, but the most metal topping that you can put on pizza is, I mean, I think this is obvious. It's probably obvious to everybody. Cocaine. That's what I would do.
That's what I was. That's what I was thinking that you were going to be saying. All right. So,
It,
who's the more metal Quiet Ride singer? Is it Kevin Dubrow or Jizzy Pearl?
wow, you know what? I got to say, Jizzy Pearl is one of my favorite singers of all time, and he's a friend of the band, and we love that guy. But I got to say, Kevin Dubrow, he went out pretty heavy metal style. So, and Kevin Dubrow, he ripped it up. I don't know who's more metal, but for Quiet Riot, I would have to say that Kevin Dubrow in Quiet Riot fit Quiet Riot pretty awesomely. But Jizzy's as metal as it gets, so it's going to have to be a tie. They're both metal.
And well, this will be my final Are You Metal question for you, Satchel. Between his stints singing for Judas Priest and then not singing for Judas Priest and then getting back into Judas Priest, Rob Halford had a band called Fight. So what was the more metal album? Was it War of Words or was it A Small Deadly Space?
Well, I have to. I'm a slightly biased. They do say that the first record is always the best from any band, but War of Words was a classic. And let's face it, like Rob Halford, one of the greatest, one of the most metal singers in history. War of Words was a classic. I think maybe if you haven't heard it, go listen to Contortion or Kill It. Those are classic songs off that record.
The guitar player killed it on that record too, I have to say.
Oh, that guy was amazing.
He was pretty good, especially that first album. I mean, Into the Pit, that first song,
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
He was only 13 when he did that too. That guy.
It's Rob Rush. We got Satchel on the line from Steel Panther. And tomorrow night at the Paramount in Huntington is where they will be. Thank you, man, for coming on and chatting with us. And if nobody has seen Steel Panther, what is the best explanation that you could say for somebody that's going to be at the Paramount tomorrow night to see this?
Well, you know what? If you were too young to experience heavy metal in the 80s, this will give you everything that you missed in the 80s in one 90-minute show. And you will not regret seeing it because it's going to be a great show. So, Rob, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.